Okay, let Mommy do her video, okay? Good morning, everyone. How did everyone sleep last night? Are we feeling blessed another day? I know I am. So, yep, I'm still reading out of this book. Chapter 28, Step by Step Obedience. So let's get right into it. I have a 9:45 appointment this morning. Now that the Lord said to Abraham, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you." Genesis 12:1. The Old Testament man was called Abraham, a man of great faith. Having faith comes more easily to some people than to others simply because of the way they are wired. But I don't think anyone is born with the tremendous faith that Abraham had. It's like clockwork. I don't care what time I start my videos, here comes my cousin from the outside, either from work or the supermarket, whatever it may be. And watch, he's going to want to talk to me about his stimulus check. It has to be developed over time as we see God prove himself faithful to one situation after another. God gives all of us a measure of faith, but your faith grows like Abraham's over time as we learn to trust God to lead us one step at a time. We do have to face difficult and challenging situations, but they become the tools that God uses to stretch our faith to new levels. I can barely see. Abraham's first step of faith was to leave his home and his family, not knowing where to go next. All God said was that he would show him the right place, and Abraham trusted that and obeyed. He had to do the first thing God told him before God would tell him anything else. So we have to listen and be led, of course. By the time Abraham's faith was truly tested, he had developed such complete trust in God that he was willing to sacrifice his own son, the son God had promised him, with his wife, Sarah, and the son he had believed God for and had waited for a very long time. When God asked him to sacrifice his son, he obeyed. Can you imagine that? Sacrificing the child that you gave birth to the unknown, but your faith is so strong and you trust in the Holy Spirit and you sacrifice your son, or you attempt to sacrifice your son. He was being tested. Abraham was truly being tested. When God asked him to sacrifice his son, he obeyed. But before he could do it, God spoke to him and told him not to. He even provided a ram in a nearby thicket so that Abraham would have an animal to sacrifice instead. Genesis 22:1-14. We have no wonder if Abraham would have had the faith to sacrifice his son had he not seen God prove himself faithful on each step of his journey to that point. Abraham's story is very dramatic when it gets to the part about sacrificing his son. I haven't heard of another story like that in history, but it is a great example for us as we walk the journey of healing in our soul. We would like for God to heal us instantly, but that's not the way it works. God strengthens and restores us little by little, one step at a time, and each time he does, our trust in him grows. As God heals our soul, there are times he is gracious enough to take us forward in a seemingly miraculous way. But there comes a time for everyone when He requires us to walk through a difficulty. Because that is the only way we will gain strength. There are many people who simply refuse to take the first step until they see every step along the way. But the best way to follow God as He heals your soul is to take each step He leads you to take when He leads you to take it, and without questioning or hesitating. Once you take one step and see the faithfulness of God, you will have more faith for the second step than you have for the first. As the cycle continues, you will find yourself making great progress on your journey of healing. Declare this: I am committed to take each step God calls me to take. Trust in Him to lead me where He knows I need to go. So on this journey, be obedient, put your faith in God, and don't get scared. You're going to need a whole lot of courage. But trust and believe in Him, and He will be faithful to you. So that's it for this chapter. I love you all. And I will be talking to you later, okay? Bye.